Okay, hey, it's Dave from Muffino's Custom. So today I'm going to review the new Graco Magnum True Airless X5. It's an airless sprayer. It's a true airless sprayer, and I don't like painting, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves is painting. I've had so many problems. You know, I bought the airless ones, the Graco, the Wagner Flexios, the Home Bright. I've had all of them, and you know, I just have a hard time keeping them clean and just get consistency out of them. Also, for so many projects, I was just buying, like example, like the Husky sprayer from Home Depot, or just buying these cheaper or even more expensive ones from Harbor Freight. I was literally buying a sprayer for each order I was doing at a certain point. So it was getting kind of annoying. So I just went out and I bit the bullet and bought this. I got a good deal actually on this, so I'm not going to. Got this old Facebook Marketplace. It was in the box still, so somebody they bought it and didn't need it, and they just sold it cheap. So I got a great deal on this. So it's made in USA. This is, like I said, it's the Graco Magnum X5. It's a true airless paint sprayer. I believe it's made in the USA. It's a 1/2 horsepower unit. It comes with this, and I've used it a couple times already. So when I go to review, first review, I'm going to go back in time. But it comes with the 515 tip on it, and you just got to turn this and replace it and pop it out. I'm going to pop this out because this is, and just so you know the way these sprayer tips work, this is going to be a good example here. This here is, I'm going to put a 211 tip in this because I mainly spray smaller furniture. So I'm not really spraying big projects. You know, if I'm going to be doing a wall or a bigger cabinet unit, then I'll put the 515 in, which comes with the unit. So I'm going to put the 515 in, take the 515 out. I'm going to put this 211 in. Just to give you an idea, so the spray diameter is going to be 4 inches. And the way you know that, if the number is 2, starts with a 2, for example, it's going to be a 4-inch spray. If it starts with a 5, like the 515, it's going to be like a 10-inch spray, which a pattern, which I don't need that for what I do. And I'll show you. We're going to demo this today, this new tip, and to see if we get a better finish. I thought the bigger tip was giving a little bit more of like a overspray. I was wasting a lot of paint, and also it wasn't laying as nice. So let's see if this lays a little nicer with a small diameter pattern. This is going to be it's a 4-inch pattern or 10 centimeter for you metrics people. This is all made in the USA too, these tips. I got this off Amazon today, or the other day. So we're going to try this now. Like I said, this is like the Magnum X5 series. I don't know if it, if it has any other. It doesn't really come much in it. One of the things it came with was it comes with a cleaner, which is good. I'm going to use that after this. I usually use hot water. It comes with this good instruction guide, which is pretty cool. I definitely used this the first time I used it, and you'll see when I first use it that I'll be referencing this guide. Going to go back in time. And it comes like your manual and stuff. That's about it. It also comes with a connection for your hose. So when you want to clean using your hose, you can hook up to your hose, to your sprayer tip here. And the unit, like I said, has been used a couple times. So far, I love it. The tip I thought was a little aggressive for what I use it for. So we're going to try a new tip, and we're going to spray some tables, see how long it takes, see what the pattern looks like, see if how clean it comes out. We already, just so you know, we also primer with this, but I already primered with the other tip on it already. So these tables that we're going to be doing already have 2 coats of primer on them. So now we're going to go to the paint. Okay, let's go. With this little quick guide setup, it's pretty informative actually. It's pretty good so far. So I'm just going to start cutting all these strings off with scissors just to unlock the air hose. The gun already looks like it's installed on this one, on the one end of the hose. Looks like the other end of the hose will go here. This little red knob here looks like it turns off. And it looks like This end then just plugs into here. I don't think it needs any Teflon. I don't think I'm going to do that since I'm going to be pulling it on and off. I'm just going to hand tighten the start. Okay, so here's looks like your return hose for your return and also for your paint suction here. And these will go into your gallon buckets or 5-gallon buckets, and this will go into like probably like a drain here. This one will go into a drain, I guess. You have your power cord, obviously. It's a 110. You have this little cup here. Looks like this will go back in there when you're not using it. Just pop this in here, just for storage. It's a pretty small unit. It's not that big. It looks like it comes with a 515 hose here. It's set to spray, so if we turn this, it will set it to primer. And we'll do that first. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to turn this on to make sure it comes on. But I also want to show you what comes in the package. This little nozzle here looks like a... I'm going to have to look and see what this is here. It looks like some kind of return. Maybe or like an extra piece here. I have to look that up. It looks like it comes with some primer. Cleaner here. We'll use this for cleaning. And it comes with some instructions. You know, your basic paperwork. But the quick guide seems to be the most important thing. I wish it came with another air hose connection, but we'll just make do with this right now. And we'll see what it looks like. So we're going to be painting some tables the next day or so. It's a little cold, and I don't really have great heat out here. So I'm debating if I want to do it now or wait. So this is the just initial setup of this. We're going to get a little more detail when we start painting. So I'm just going to plug this in. It's a regular 110, 120 outlet. And the power button is right here. Just going to make sure it turns on. Okay, so right now I'm just going to set up some water. I have some primer here we're going to use eventually, but we have a return dirty bucket here, and we're going to have some hot water in this bucket. So we're going to set it to primer here. We're going to turn our sprayer on. We're going to turn the knob down a little bit. Okay, so the Magnum X5 True Airless. We're going to test for the first time with some primer, but we're going to run some water through first. So you have your hose here with like this vent on it. This keeps, I guess, debris out of your paint. And then you have your, I guess, your extra hose here that you could plug into your hose, or you could send it to like a dirty bucket here, that will be like the extra excess paint, stuff like that we're just going to trash. And we'll use it for cleaning. So we'll also use this bucket for cleaning later. So we're going to turn it on, and we're going to just run, we're going to set the primer. We have our one handle here. It's the only one it came with. I'm going to have to change this eventually. So it's set the primer here, turn this way. If we turn it this way, it sets it the spray. So we're going to turn it to prime. We have our knob here set in the up position. If we put this down, that's ready for spray. So we're going to put it in the up position. Our knob's turned here to just the on position. To like, you can set your pressure. We're going to set it kind of low to start. And then our on button is over here on this side. First, we're going to hit the primer button twice here. Let's go here, state. We have our primer button here. We'll hit that twice. Okay. And then we'll turn our unit on here. we're going to clean it now. We're just going to run this through some hot water here. We're going to take the little nozzle off and we're just going to prime it and just get any excess primer out of the line. Okay, so my impression of this sprayer so far has been pretty good. I was able to paint this table within about 5 to 7 minutes, just one coat. So we're gonna let it dry for a little bit. It did have a little bit of an overspray, a little bit of dripping, which I mean maybe it's just this might be a little bit of overkill for sprayer for what I'm doing. So I'm probably gonna just like take a dry foam brush and just kind of coat in any like overspray or. Just kind of, I know it defeats the purpose, but it definitely still faster than hand painting these things. Or even if I use my air compressor in the past, I have an 8-gallon air compressor. It took forever just to paint the table. I guess would sometimes take me, a half hour to an hour a set or two or longer, depending on how big the sets were. So there's, like you said, there's some drip in here. Just trying to show you. So it's not perfect. So I'm definitely have to sand this down after it dries a little bit. Just trying to get some of this overkill. I know rubbing it is not really helping it. But if I can make the sanding a little easier. So I'm going to do sand. I did sand already 2 times with the primer. So now I typically don't like to sand after I paint, but we're going to do just a light sanding after we get this coat dry. We're going to do one more table. So it's another probably 7 minutes. So within a half hour or so, or less, I'll have both tables painted and ready to go for second coat in about an hour or so. The weather's not too bad right now. It's a little chilly, but I got the heater on here. It's about 50-something degrees in here right now, so that's about the limit of painting anyway. So I don't like to paint in winter, especially. I try not to. So I needed something I could paint fast. So that's one reason why I went and bought this unit. Just definitely speeds up the process, and if I have to, I could bring these in the basement or bring them in the house, let them dry if need be. When it gets really cold. But usually I try to just do hardwoods and other things where I don't have to paint to kind of solve that issue with painting. But a lot of people do want furniture painted, especially some of this rustic farmhouse stuff, even though this is not really rustic any longer, since it has pretty high quality paint. And this is, pretty high quality poplar wood. It's not framed lumber. It's milled up pretty nice. And but either way, it's still, lower line furniture. That's why I'm using the Bear cabinet paint. It's still good quality. But I also have higher level paints like Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore that I use for other stuff like cabinets and things. But for this, it came out pretty good. The spray was not too bad. It's definitely better than the 10-inch pattern. So I don't know if they make a smaller pattern. I might have to look into that. Maybe a 2-inch pattern I think would be perfect for these types of tables. But like I said, I try not to paint as much as possible. All right, so let's do the second table. Set the primer thing off. Okay, we're going to spray it out. Excess spray. Get everything on the line. All right. That's better. Now we'll clean off these tips. Some hot water, and that's about it. So we'll put the hose in this hot water. Returning the same thing here. Okay, we're going to set the knob here to prime to start, and then we're going to pump the prime button twice on the left hand side here. Okay, I'm going to turn the unit on. painting the line here. Impression of this first, well, this is actually my third or fourth impression, but my first impression of this was really good. Besides the aggressive spray pattern with the bigger tip, so we put a smaller tip in. It definitely helped a little bit. The 211 is definitely a little better for what I'm doing. I could probably go with a smaller tip if they make one with a look. If they make even like a 2-inch pattern, it'd probably be better for these types of tables. But the bigger stuff, the 5-inch, 10-inch spray pattern is really good, especially if you're going to be spraying walls. So the results are pretty good. It's very fast. It's easy to clean so far. I'm just gonna let it sit in water for a little bit, and then we're gonna spray it, prime it out, clean out the lines in the bucket here. Okay, so my impression of results of this unit so far. I guess my verdict is it's a good unit. I think it's a very good unit. It works well. This is, like I said, the Graco Magnum X5 True Airless sprayer. You don't need an air compressor, which is a plus. I guess let's go over the negatives real quick. So the negatives are it comes with a spray tip for what my application is not the greatest. It's not bad, but it's a little aggressive. It has a lot of overspray, a lot of like dripping with your paint. It's just this is for bigger projects, which is fine. It's not really a complaint. It really should be negative, but for my application, it kind of is. But either way, so I just went and bought this 211 spray tip. It's a little better for what I use it for. This is a smaller spray tip. 211 is going to, the number 2 stands for your spray pattern, which is going to be 2 times 2 is 4. So you double it up. So it's going to be 4-inch spray pattern. The 5 series is going to be a 10-inch spray pattern, which is really big for what I use it for. Either way, so other negative, it's a big bulky unit, bigger than I'm used to, but I don't need an air compressor. Again, the other thing is these hoses are pretty rigid, so you need at least a gallon or a 5-gallon bucket. 5-gallon bucket would be better for a unit like this because the hose stays in easier. You can't really use a quart or anything like that. So that's the other negative. And sometimes I use a quart for smaller projects, so it's a little hard in that way. But so that's the really only negatives I could think of. The positives are it cleans pretty easy, which I was surprised by. That was like the final positive verdict for me, because that was a big deal for me, because the other sprayers, they just didn't last, because and it's my fault a lot of times. I dirtied them up, they just don't stay clean. I get 1 or 2 uses out of them, maybe 3. It's just not worth it. So I spent a lot of money on different sprayers, different styles. The other positive is I don't need an air compressor. This has a motor in it, which is good. It's a 0.5 horsepower motor, which is good. Other positive is you could paint fast with this. Sprays the application real quick, and it's really quiet too once you start spray mode. When you're in primer mode, it's a little loud. That's a negative. But in paint mode, spray mode, it's very quiet. It's just like motor turns on when you hit the handle, when you hit the gun. Otherwise, it's a pretty solid unit. Other positive is ease of use. It's very easy to use, not complicated at all. Just in the owner's manual guide that comes with it is very informative. So I would say this is a good buy. It's a good purchase if you're painting furniture, especially a lot of painting. I would recommend a unit like this. You get, I think there's smaller units, even cheaper, or you could go up to a higher level depending on what kind of work you're doing. But this is perfect for, I think, furniture painting, even cabinets. All right, that's about it. Thanks for watching.